The oil is warm in your palms. You rub it into the rope-burned scars. The scars are years old. They run across both hands in the same place, and they will not heal because tomorrow you will pull the rope again. There are 9 other men in the gallery whose hands look exactly like yours. None of them is awake yet. This is a foreman of a 10-man gang in Giza in the 14th year of Khafre, 25 centuries before the Common Era. By the time the sun sets, a 2.5-ton block of limestone will be on the ramp where it belongs. One of your men will be in the doctor's hut with a broken shin, and you will be dictating a letter home to your wife. You are not a slave. You are a foreman, and the paperwork will prove it. Everything you have been told about this day is incomplete. Today, we decode the real one. The year is 2540 before the Common Era. Khafre, son of Khufu, is 14 years into his reign, and the second Great Pyramid of Giza is rising under his name. To the north, his father's pyramid is already finished, sheathed in polished white limestone, gleaming against the desert. To the south, a smaller pyramid for Menkaure has just been started. 3 tombs, 1 plateau, 3 generations of one family. South of the Sphinx, at the foot of all this, sits a city. The Arabic name for the ruins today is Hayt el-Gharab, the Wall of the Crow. At its peak rotation, between 10,000 and 20,000 men live inside it. The central bakery turns out 20,000 loaves of bread a day. The central abattoir slaughters 11 cattle and 33 sheep or goats every morning to feed the crews. Yes, the pyramid is being built because Khafre wants a tomb that will carry him into the afterlife. That is the reason for the project. It is not the reason for the day. The day belongs to the men in the city below. And inside one of those mud brick galleries, in the dark, a foreman is rubbing oil into his palms because today his gang is hauling a corner block, and corner blocks are where men get hurt. You are the first man in the gallery to stand. The lamp is yours to tend. You wake the others by name, one at a time, starting with the man closest to the door and ending with the boy in the corner. His name is Nacht. He is 16 years old. This is his first rotation. His mother lives in the same village as your wife, and before he left, she came to your door and asked you to watch him. You said you would. His palms are still raw. He has not yet earned the scars. The gang eats in the gallery, bread from yesterday's baking, soaked in beer to soften it, a handful of onions, dried fish for the men who want it. You eat standing because the foreman eats standing. Outside, the wind off the plateau carries 2 smells. The first is bread. The central bakery has been working since the 3rd watch of the night, and 20,000 loaves are coming out of the molds as you walk past. The second smell is heavier and wetter. The abattoir is also working. 11 cattle and 33 sheep are being opened for the day's rations. You lead your gang past both. Nacht walks behind you. The sun is not up yet, but the eastern sky has gone from black to the color of wet clay. Khufu's pyramid catches the first light before anyone on the ground does. Its casing turns pink, then gold, then white. Today, the gang has been assigned a corner block, and corner blocks are where the youngest man in the gang gets watched the closest. The sound across the plateau is the same all morning. Hundreds of copper chisels on limestone, all at once, from every direction. It does not sound like men working. It sounds like an enormous insect breathing in and out across the whole work site. By the middle of the shift, the dust has hardened at the back of your nose, and you can taste it when you swallow. The block is roped. Your gang is in position, 10 men along the haul rope, 5 on each side. The chant begins. You walk the rope from front to back, checking the tension at each man's hands. the way you check it every haul. Nacht is third from the back on the left. His grip is too tight. He is squeezing the rope instead of letting his weight do the work. You say nothing the first time you see it. You note it, and you keep walking. The block moves up the ramp in pulls of one body length at a time. Between pulls, the gang rests. Between rests, the chant resumes. The scribe walks the line with a wax tablet, marking who is hauling, who is on water duty, who has stepped out for a moment. His name is Kentka. He is 41 years old, and he has been at Giza longer than you have. Nacht's grip slips twice during the morning. The first time, the block shifts on the ramp and the chant breaks. The second time, his hand simply opens and the rope rolls through his fingers before he can close it again. Both times you see it. Both times you say nothing. Nacht's grip slipped twice this morning. The foreman saw both times. He has not yet decided whether to say anything. If you're still with me this far in, hit subscribe to Decoded by Jack and tap the like button while you're at it. In a few minutes, I'm going to tell you about a stack of papyrus that was found in a desert cave a few years ago. It was written by a man who did exactly this work, and the textbooks haven't caught up to it yet. The block is 2/3 up the ramp when it happens. You feel it before you understand it. The tension in the rope at your own hands changes. One position has gone slack. The other 9 men feel it a half-second later and brace, and the block holds. And that is the only reason the block holds. Nacht's hand has opened for the 3rd time. The rope is sliding past him, and his body is following it. He is pulled forward 2 steps before his shin catches the edge of a haul sled at the side of the ramp. The sound is small. The gang freezes. You step into his position. You take the rope. You call for the relief crew by name, and 3 men move toward Nacht without being told twice. They lift him under the arms and behind the knees. The bone is showing. He does not scream. He has not understood yet what has happened to him. The block continues up the ramp. That is the rule. The block does not stop for a man. You walk beside the relief crew to the physician's hut. The physician is a salaried professional. He cleans the wound, sets the bone, binds the shin with linen soaked in honey. Kentka, the scribe, arrives with his wax tablet within minutes. He asks you, in the formal phrasing, how the incident occurred. This is the moment. You dictate the incident with specific details. The rope was new. The block was a corner block. The boy was on his first rotation. You choose every phrase you know will land sympathetically with the rotation administrator who reads the tablet tomorrow. The shin is broken. The doctor is paid. The paperwork is filed. The foreman has made a choice. And tomorrow, the village scribe will be asked to confirm it. The beer is the last cup of the day. It is thick, sour, more porridge than drink. You drink it for the calories, not the taste. 8 cups a day is the standard ration. This is the 8th, the one you drink seated. The gang sits together against the south wall of the gallery, where the mud brick still holds the heat of the afternoon. The sun is low over the western desert. Khufu's pyramid is already in shadow on this side. Only the top third still catches light. Khafre's worksite, behind you, has gone quiet. The chisels have stopped. Someone in the gang says Nacht's name, quietly, not in a joking way. The men around you do not answer. You drink. You do not tell them what you asked Kentka to file. You finish the cup. You stand, and your lower back catches the way it has caught at the end of every shift for the last 3 years. No man in this city reaches 40 without it. You walk back to the gallery alone. You send for the village scribe. He arrives with a fresh wax tablet and sits across from you on the woven mat. You dictate a message to your wife. You ask her to visit Nacht's mother. You ask her to bring food. You ask her to say nothing about the injury until the official letter from the scribe arrives at the village in 3 or 4 days. The injury is being handled. The boy will walk again. The mother does not need to learn it from a rumor at the well. The scribe rolls the tablet shut. The lamp gutters. Your hands rest on the mat between you. That was the day. A block on the ramp. A man in the doctor's hut. A letter home. Now let me tell you what almost no one outside of Egyptology understands about this day. Decoded 1. You are not a slave. You have a job title. If you grew up watching films about ancient Egypt, you've seen the same scene many times. A whip cracks. A line of broken men drags stone. A foreman shouts in a language that sounds vaguely Arabic. The pyramid rises from the suffering of slaves. Almost none of that is true. In the 1990s, Zahi Hawass excavated a cemetery on the Giza Plateau where the pyramid workers were buried. Their tombs carry their professional titles carved into stone. Director of the drag, friend of the pyramid, inspector of the boat builders. People do not put job titles on the graves of slaves. The work gangs even name themselves. Graffiti inside the Great Pyramid Records crews called Friends of Khufu and Drunkards of Menkaure. Slaves do not get to nickname their gang. Herodotus wrote that they were slaves, but he wrote it 2,000 years after the fact, and the world believed him for 2,000 more. The paperwork proves it, and you just watch the paperwork happen. Decoded 2. Your worker city bakes 20,000 loaves a day. The site we now call Hayt el-Ghurab, south of the Sphinx, has been under excavation by Mark Lehner and the team at IFAO for over 3 decades. What they've found there is not a labor camp. It's an industrial logistics operation. 20,000 loaves of bread baked every day in molds the size of footstools, 11 cattle slaughtered every morning, 33 sheep or goats alongside them, a central distribution system that pushed protein and carbohydrate out to thousands of working men on a daily rotation. Richard Redding analyzed the animal bone deposits from the worker city. The protein intake of the men eating from this kitchen was comparable to that of mid-tier Egyptian nobility. These men were eating beef regularly. This is not the menu of a slave camp. This is the menu of the largest catering operation in the ancient world, funded by the crown, sustained for 3-month rotations per worker. Khufu's pyramid was not built by suffering, it was built by lunch. Decoded 3. There is a journal of a man like you. We found it in 2013. In 2013, a French archaeological expedition led by Pierre Tallet was working at Wadi al-Jarf, a port site on the Red Sea coast, about 100 miles southeast of Giza. Inside a sealed cave, they found a stack of papyrus rolls, the oldest written papyrus ever recovered. They date to the reign of Khufu, a few decades before the day we just walked through. The papyri are a logbook. They were written by an inspector named Pierre. Pierre led a team of about 200 men, and his job was to ferry limestone from the quarries at Tura across the Nile to the construction site at Giza. Khufu's pyramid, the one already finished and gleaming in white casing on the horizon of our foreman's day. Pierre records his daily quotas. He records his river crossing times. He names his supervising official. The man he reports to is Ankaf, half-brother of Khufu. This is not legend. This is a logbook. One line in Tallet's translation reads, Day 25. The inspector Pierre spends the day with his filey hauling stones in Tura South, spends the night at Tura South. That sentence was written 46 centuries ago by a man who did this job. We found it in a cave 11 years ago. It is still being translated, and the world is still catching up to what it says. Your hands rest on the wax tablet between you and the scribe. The lamp is low. A single fingertip of limestone dust falls from your palm onto the wax, and the scribe brushes it away without looking up. He finishes the last line of your message. He rolls the tablet shut. You do not watch him go. You sit for a moment longer in the dark of the gallery, your palms open on your knees. The rope-burned scars catch the last of the lamplight. Tomorrow, you will oil them again. Tomorrow, you will pull the rope again. Tomorrow, the block will be in a different position on the ramp, and Nacht will not be in the gang. 46 centuries from now, your name will be lost. The pyramid you are building today will be a tourist photograph. Your hands will be dust. The message you sent home tonight will never be found. But the journal of your colleague, the one we found in 2013, sits on a shelf in Cairo. It is still being translated. The world is still catching up to what it says. That is what we have. And that is enough to know you were here.